This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand for the morning of January 27th, 2023. I'm Wes Mills. Fishers-based First Internet Bank says the downturn in the housing market is prompting its exit from the consumer mortgage business. The bank announced the news as part of its fourth quarter and year-end 2022 financial report. The bank says it has seen a steep decline in mortgage volumes, and the outlook for future mortgage lending is negative. The departure includes First Internet's digital direct-to-consumer mortgage platform that originates residential loans for sale in the secondary market. It also includes local traditional consumer mortgage lending and construction to permanent lending. Muncie-based First Merchants Corporation is reporting full-year net income of $220 million, up from $205 million the previous year. During the fourth quarter, it recorded net income of $70 million compared to $47 million during the same period a year ago. The North Central Indiana Regional Planning Commission is celebrating 5 economic development projects that have been awarded about $9 million from the Indiana Regional Economic Acceleration and Development Initiative, or READY program. The projects approved for READY funding range from an Industry 4.0 training lab and highway infrastructure to downtown development and fiber access. The region, which includes Cass, Clinton, Fulton, Howard, Miami, and Tipton counties, was awarded $30 million as part of the state's $500 million READY program in December 2021. A study from the Washington, D.C.-based Environmental Energy Project cites the BP Whiting refinery as a top polluter in the U.S. Inside Indiana Business reporter Alex Brown with details.
The environmental group said Thursday the Northwest Indiana refinery is among the top 5 for selenium and nitrogen discharges out of more than 80 refineries nationwide. The organization says the Whiting refinery discharged more than 3,500 pounds of selenium and just over 574,000 pounds of nitrogen in 2021. Both pollutants can be toxic to fish and other aquatic life. However, a spokesperson for BP told our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana that the refinery operates within the limits of its water discharge permit and is, quote, consistent with the standards of the Federal Clean Water Act. The company also says it provides regular wastewater discharge reports to the Indiana Department of Environmental Management. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
In today's business environment, every company is a tech company. Interested in learning more about emerging technology trends that can make an impact on your strategy in 2023? Join us February 15th for IBJ's Technology Power Breakfast to hear from top tech entrepreneurs, investors, and up-and-comers. Our panelists will dive into key issues and trends that will inspire fresh ideas. RSVP or reserve a corporate table for 10 by February 9th at ibj.com/events.
Has your company grown at a rapid pace over the last 2 years? Nominations are now being accepted for Fast 25, IBJ's exclusive list of fastest growing companies in Central Indiana. Honorees will be spotlighted in a special publication in the IBJ and celebrated at an event on May 9th. Check out the changes to this year's criteria to see if your company qualifies. Learn more and submit your nomination by March 1st at ibj.com/nominations.
Legendary Purdue University researcher Dr. Philip Lau says a cure for malaria could be just 3 years away from the marketplace. Lau says the treatment, developed from research in his lab, was 100% effective in a Phase 2 clinical trial. The testing took place in the jungles of Vietnam, where drug-resistant strains of malaria are prominent. Lau says he plans to give his malaria discovery away for free, most likely to a major pharmaceutical company, but he'll require the company to commit to making it available to everybody in regions battling malaria.
The best solution will be if we can get it down to one pill. Then they come into the clinic, you give them the pill, you know they're cured, and then you know you're not selecting for drug-resistant strains. And that's what our goal is ultimately.
Lau's team is in the final stages of preparing to launch the Phase 3 clinical trial, which could have results by the end of the year, followed by 1 or 2 more years to gain regulatory approval. Eli Lilly and Company says it will contribute more than $1 million towards the purchase and installation of medical-grade refrigeration units in 17 impoverished nations. Lilly is partnering with Direct Relief, a global humanitarian organization, to provide last-mile delivery of essential medications in low-income regions of the world. The funding will help with the purchase of 150 specialized refrigerators for medications like insulin that must be temperature-controlled. Former Indianapolis Colts coach Frank Reich has been hired by the Carolina Panthers to be their new head coach. Reich was fired November 7th. It's a return to North Carolina for Reich, where he spent one season as the team's quarterback. Fort Wayne-based Sweetwater says it recorded pivotal growth and reached significant milestones in 2022, despite economic challenges. The online retailer of musical instruments and audio gear says it reached 9.5% year-over-year revenue growth with $1.5 billion in sales. The company says that marks the third consecutive year it's broken the $1 billion mark. I'm Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.